We just have a few minutes to go to get to 8:30. So it's our time, you and I, my business people. Let's learn together on this one. I have something special for you. Now, Africa's Upper Nile Valley is an area known for the vicious cycle of conflict and forced migration, but little, if anything, is known about the vast opportunities it presents for nearly every investor, both local and foreign. It is for this reason that government has launched a campaign to promote these opportunities with a keen focus on the West Nile region. This campaign is spearheaded by Operation Wealth Creation in partnership with the Uganda Investment Authority and the Muni University, which will host the inaugural Uganda-Germany Investment Symposium slated for the 25th and 26th of July this year. So in studios to understand that, especially for you, my people, who are in that region, West Nile, Acholi, Lango, yes, you've been thinking that investment is just for the foreigners. No, no, no. You can also invest in your area. So that's what we'll be talking about this particular morning. So in studios, I'm joined by Dr. Robert Mwesigwa Rukaari. He is the National Chairperson, NRM Entrepreneurs League, and also he is the Chairman, Organizing Committee, Uganda-Germany Investment Symposium that is happening on the 25th and 26th of July this year. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Mala, for hosting me.
You're welcome. All right, so let's get the ball rolling. Investment opportunities. We are still grappling with matters to do with unemployment. And it's just because, and even the Bible says, my people perish because of lack of knowledge. So today we want to expose these opportunities that are available. And we want to say that investment is not just for the foreigner, but also for the local person. So let us in on these details, because you are, privy to the opportunities that are there, in Acholi, Lango, West Nile region, so to speak. So what are these opportunities? I know you come with about 4 or 5 opportunities that, my people can take advantage of. So let's get this going. What opportunities are these?
Thank you, Mala. As you rightly said, there are many opportunities, and we are talking about a symposium that will take place next month, around 25th, 26th. And basically, our objective is to showcase that northern Uganda, West Nile, Upper Nile is not about refugee crisis, it's not about conflict-ridden area,
right,
but it has opportunities. And among them, when you go to West Nile, there's even a small hill that combines the 3 countries, South Sudan, DRC, and Uganda. Mm-hmm. What an advantage is that. Maybe it's the only one in the whole world that combines 3 countries.
Right.
We have access to Central African Republic. What an opportunity as a trade hub. It is only 160 kilometers from Central African Republic to Koboko, mm-hmm, than driving from Arua to Karuma. Mm-hmm. So what an advantage as a market. That's one in terms of trade. What about the tourist attraction? I've already talked about it here.
Yes.
When you drive from Karuma around Noya to Pakwach, the scenery, the wildlife, you cannot believe it. Even up to in the 1950s, there used to be tourist, cruises around the Nile, mm-hmm, on the Upper Nile. This is what we're talking about. Third, it can be a food basket. The big chunks of land available and fertile land. This is what we're calling for all Ugandans to come and see, so that we can showcase the available opportunities in West Nile and we take advantage of them. Mm-hmm. And maybe out of 40 million or 41 million, how many people have stepped foot in West Nile?
I think a fraction.
Thank you. That's
right,
what we're talking about.
Right,
yes,
right. And also, as we get into now this 4 opportunities, investment opportunities, one of the key area is, this region is mineral wealthy. So I think we can start with that one as we, go down to the easier investment opportunities, so to speak. So when it comes to, the mineral space and, the mineral ecosystem from the mining and stuff like that, what will it take for that? They say, no, I'm just that small person. But how can they be involved in this particular sector?
Yes, thank you, Mara. Of course, the challenge we have, especially that mineral sector, is that because of our economic imbalance. You find like 12% in a different bracket of our economy, and then the 8% are also in a lower level of our economy. So it becomes difficult for that big number of our locals to participate in this kind of mineral wealth trade or business. However, we can take advantage as locals to, once you have a license, maybe you can call in an international firm and you have a JV or an understanding where you have some shareholding. But because of our not having strong financial base, it becomes difficult for us to explore, to process minerals. But what we call upon our people is, if you can get a license, then have a JV, at least some shares, maybe not less than 10%.
Right.
Yes, that kind of thing.
But what does it take for me to get a license?
Well, these are procedures of Ministry of Energy. Under Ministry of Energy, there are different opportunities, especially for the locals, where there are procedures where they apply, and you can easily get a license. But of course, when it comes to oil and gas, then it's a bit advanced.
A bit advanced.
Yes, but also depending on how the locals are organized, especially if you find a district or a region, if it has its own investment profile, then you can form associations which can come in and feed into these oil or gas investors.
Right.
Yes.
You know, as the national chairperson of the NRM Entrepreneurs League, still sticking to this particular sector, the mineral sector, we know that a majority of, our people have been exploited thanks to these opportunities. Once foreigners come through, they're just given these menial jobs and paid meagres or peanuts, so to speak. So in that capacity, just because in the mineral sector, at least our people are somewhere in that value chain, but they're not getting value for what they actually put in. So what are you doing to ensure that that actually changes? That as much as our people are just involved in, they call it quote unquote dirty work, the labor. What are you doing to ensure that they are compensated, accordingly, so to speak?
Thank you. You see, you should not see it about on one side about exploitation. The good news is, yesterday we had a long day discussion with the people in Bunyoro, all the leaders, local leaders, both technical, political, and business people, the private sector from Bunyoro sub-region. We had a discussion with them the whole day in Kapeka under OWC, and I was chairing that session. The interesting part, the first question the chief of OWC asked the local leaders was, can anybody present to me a district investment profile?
Okay.
None had the profile. And he gave them an assignment. Before you discuss business, before you ask me that question, you need to have a profile. What are you? If you don't, someone will come from outside and take advantage of your weaknesses. So profile means, what are your development plans? Where are the associations which can lobby, which can discuss business with this foreign investor? They are not there. And maybe, like most of them were responding, they don't have capacity.
Correct.
To put up district investment profiles. And I think that's why there's a gap, that maybe they would get consultants and now discuss, if you have a profile, and you want an investor to come in and invest, what should be the relationship? And that's your question you're asking.
Yes, yes.
And I think that's where we should start from. Before we even discuss about this foreign investor, are you ready? That's one. The second one, Ugandans, forget about the people from the Bunyoro region. How many people have driven through the Albertine region, just physically see what is happening there? Or how many people are informed of, in terms of physical information of what is happening in the Albertine region?
Very few.
You can count them. And so unless you take a mile on your own and see what is happening, appreciate it, and then learn on how you can take advantage to have that nexus with the investors, we will lose out.
But are we building capacity to inform, the people who live around these areas to get to know this information? Is it a deliberate move that we are embarking on?
The deliberate move is this. what you're having.
Okay.
This is one of them.
Are we taking it to the ground?
But as you are quoting the Bible,
yes.
the Bible says God helps those who also help themselves. So it's not one way.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. But somehow you will ensure that you do some capacity building on ground.
Absolutely, especially through skilling. Like this Science and Technology University in Muni, in Arua, this is the process where the government is doing.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, Doctor. At least now we have that pledge that you'll go on ground to, do some capacity building and inform the masses there. All right. So let's flip over to the other opportunity as we are going through, how easy it is to get into this space. So trade. This particular region is actually positioned well enough. You did say that it's, we are here in Uganda blessed. There's DRC, Congo, there's South Sudan. What are the opportunities that are there with regards to trade in this region?
Mara, when you go to West Nile, 2 weeks ago, I've been there before, but I was there 2 weeks ago, and you reach Arua town. As you're entering Arua town, first see the signal which is there. There are like 2 big private companies here, multinationals. One, Tata, the second one, Toyota. You are welcomed by Tata Regional Workshop, Toyota Regional Workshop. I have traveled the whole of this country. I think apart from Kampala, these are the 2, this is the only place where such kind of workshops are. Big time with branded Tata and Toyota. It shows, you don't have to go deep, it shows the commercial, the economy you are talking about. It shows the nexus you're talking about as part of West Nile.
Correct.
And actually it even gives us a different narrative about Uganda, that Uganda is actually not landlocked, but land-linked.
Okay.
Yes.
That's a new one. Not landlocked,
it's not landlocked.
Land-linked.
That is a misconception to say Uganda is landlocked. It is land-linked. And as entrepreneurs, this is what we should be taking advantage of.
Okay,
yes.
So what you're saying is that by virtue of, these companies, the big ones, like you've mentioned them, Tata and Toyota going there, it shows that the economy there, as much as we are not, we're still blind to it, it's a robust economy.
Absolutely.
So can we go to the details? What are these trade investment opportunities that we've not exploited yet?
We have a market. Who is supplying Central African Republic of Congo? If Central African Republic of Congo is 160 kilometers from the border of Uganda, where should traders here in Chikuwo should be eyeing? Where should the hardware people? But of course, I was encouraged. I found a company like Seroma. It has serious big businesses, and I'm sure they must be trading also with the Central African Republic.
Correct.
But how many Ugandans know about that? And this is a conversation now we are encouraging. And this is a symposium. We want to bring out and invite our local investors to come and see the opportunities which are available. When you leave Arua to Vora border, it's just like 15 minutes. The border with the DRC, and it's tarmacked. What an opportunity with the market with the DRC, the western part of DRC. These are opportunities we should be talking about, but how many people are aware in Kampala especially?
But Doctor, many people shy away from cross-border trade because they think that it's complex and maybe expensive. Can we demystify that today? What does it take for a trader to, get involved in the cross-border operation, so to speak? What does it take?
The experience I got was you drive 4 to 5 hours, you're in Arua, 15 minutes you're at Vora border. I even crossed after talking to them that we are just on fact-finding. They even didn't stop my passport. I didn't have a passport anyway. And they crossed the other side, shared with our brothers in DRC. It's just an opportunity that is open. All you need is to go and see for yourself.
Go and see for yourself.
That is all.
And get all the information.
And that's what we're encouraging our Ugandan people. In my mother language, we have saying that you don't see unless you've touched.
Okay.
So we are calling people to come to West Nile and see the opportunities which are available for themselves, and then they know what to do in terms of trade. And
all this information is available?
Is available, and we're packaging and we're putting up a symposium that people can come. We're going to be marketing with the media.
Correct.
And we want your help.
Okay.
Take this conversation at a different level.
All right. So we've touched on, the mineral bit of things. We've also touched on, the trade bit of things. Let's go to tourism. We do have this magnificent mountain that you talked about, the wildlife as well. But many people think that this is a Muzungu venture. You know, as much as we have all these natural resources that, you know, attract tourists, where can we quickly place ourselves in this, you know, ecosystem of tourism?
Of course, especially our locals, this 8% we're talking about. This is a very good line where they can take advantage of. The interesting part, Mala, when you're driving, especially from Karuma or Rio Pakwach Road, the vehicles you meet there, these tourist vans, and of course, as you already said, with foreigners, you don't easily see our own locals in those tourist vans. They know more of our part of Uganda than ourselves. But directly to answer your question, when these tourists come, they come with their dollars.
Yes.
What is available for them to purchase from you as a youth entrepreneur, as a woman entrepreneur? This is what we want to encourage as a conversation, that maybe in their small scale we can start branding our own small products through crafts and call them West Nile or Upper Nile or whatever you want to call them, for these tourists to come and take advantage of, and so that our people can have an income. Also, the middle class and the upper class of Ugandans, they can take advantage of investing through ecotourism.
Correct.
Putting up cottages, putting up water sports activities along the Nile.
Are you saying there's a gap now that we still don't have enough? You know, accommodation facilities?
Absolutely.
Okay.
At least I'm partially involved in ecotourism.
Yes.
There's a big gap.
Okay.
Yes. In Arua, when we were there, I went with a team of the committee members of NOC. We could not easily get accommodation.
Wow.
Most of the hotels were all fully booked.
Wow.
And we are still wondering and actually encouraging now the residents to leave their homes and open up their homes for guests.
Yes.
And for them, they would easily get an income instead of putting up mansions and then they stay in Kampala.
That's an opportunity as well.
Which is a tourist also opportunity.
Yeah. Quick wins.
Yes.
Interesting, guys. I hope you're listening. All right, on to the last one before we wrap this up. And I think this one is pretty much linked to trade. And we're talking about agriculture. The potential in this region is amazingly huge. To what capacity have we exploited the same, and what more can we do?
The capacity is what we are still now researching about, but the opportunity that is there now is through this OWC and UIA agri-led approach, and especially with the Moon University, which is a science and technology university,
right,
who are partnering with the Germans to skill our youth in both pre and post-harvest, and of course also bring equipment which is slightly subsidized in order for our farmers to take advantage of. But they are turning the university into a skilling center for agriculture. What about the markets? Are the markets available? The market, we are here. The numbers we have, 40 million already. But beyond that, we've talked of DRC, yes, Central African Republic of Congo, Central African Republic, and South Sudan. So the market is available. Wow. Yes, we don't have to import food if with these big chunks of land, fertile land. And then once we have the skilling, we can take it to a different level. So what you're saying this morning, ideally, we just need to get down to work and get this information. And hard work. And hard work at that. And if you're an entrepreneur, the definition of an entrepreneur is a person who sees far, beyond where many of us can easily see, and take advantage and take a risk to invest financially. Correct. If you don't, then you're in a different world. Wow, interesting. All right, so as we bring this to a wrap, give us all the details with regards to this symposium. What should we know? Where will it be happening? From what date to what date? What time to what time? The symposium will be held on the 25th and 26th of July, and we expect at least delegates, more than 1,500 delegates, but it's an invite symposium because of the many, already we are dealing with 26 districts from northern Uganda. And this includes Lango region, Acholi sub-region, and West Nile itself. Then we're dealing with the neighboring countries. People are being invited. And our target is also the youth. and women entrepreneurs. And then, as you already said, we want our own local people here, strategic local people, to come and see.
Yes.
But beyond that, we're going to have conversations like this for our own Ugandan people to listen, and we are already in papers to read, and then they'll be informed of what is happening in the Upper Nile.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much for coming in studios. Now we know that there are investment opportunities, a vast, array of investment opportunities in this particular region, the West Nile, Acholi, Lango regions. Yes. If you're in that area, shine your eyes. Our Nigerian brothers always say, shine your eyes. Yes, the opportunities are there. So let's take advantage of this. Thank you so much, Dr. Robert Mwesigwa Rukaari, the National Chairman, NRM Entrepreneurs League, for coming on board. We now have the information. You are not kind to us. You say that we can't spoon feed. You have to get this information and get down to hard work. It's two-way. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you for hosting me.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it so much.
All right. So that's it for our business segment, and we are taking a short commercial break. Don't go too far. We'll be coming back to wrap this up together.
Thank you.